This week's guest on the WRC Chronicles, Wrc Jonez, the entertainer. Good evening. I hope everyone is having a wonderful evening, and I want to welcome you to the WRC Chronicles. Yep. I want to thank you all for tuning in every week, joining me to see what ratchetness we might come up with next. But I just want to say that we try to offer you real TV, reality, not fantasy. So we want to dedicate 2 nights a week so we can talk to real people with real stories to tell. Not that scripted bull crap, but real stories. Hi, Doc. Oh, hey, Don. That's who that is. Oh, my. Here we go. Trouble in the land. However, we have a special guest tonight. We have Wrc Jonez, the entertainer, joining us tonight for some hot topics and a little wicked twist towards the end. So y'all got to stay tuned for the whole show to find out what that is. We're going to talk about a little bit of everything tonight. So I want y'all to click that like, share, tag, tell a friend, do what you need to do. Make sure that they tune in every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the WRC Chronicles. We appreciate you all that do follow me. Y'all just don't know. I really do appreciate it. I'm on a mission, and again, I just want to bring y'all some good stuff, some good quality stuff. So, with that being said, I'm going to add in our guest. And again, y'all like, click, tag, share, do all that good stuff. Tell a friend, join us, please. This is going to be a good one tonight. If y'all thought Tuesday night was off the chain, ooh-wee, it's about to be even worse. I'm going to try to behave, y'all. Try. I don't know how well it's going to go, but we're going to. Let's see if we can't get Wrc added in. Don Corleone. I see. Hi, Ray. Glad you could join us. Hi, Wrc.
You know I'm eating, right? I'm a bachelor that eats. I eat. I'm sorry, everybody.
Lord have mercy. I just try to stuff my face and reapply my little lip gloss so these lips be over here popping what's going on. You know how
I apologize, but I'm a bachelor and I eat and I cook, and I cooked a very good dinner tonight. I cooked have some red wine.
Okay.
As always.
Red.
I have my red wine.
That's good for.
Do you have your red wine?
I don't. So I
And
need
everybody
somebody
that's
to do a liquor run for me.
on here that's friends and families, let me just let them know because I shared this. Please stop hitting me up. Stop calling me. Um,
Thanks.
it happens every time. Yeah, it's like this every time. So I'm eating I made kebab, chicken pineapple kebab this evening with a kale salad with pomegranate seeding and cranberries.
I like a man that can cook.
Sweet potatoes that I fried. I call it non-stick fry, so it's not fried in oil.
Oh,
I'm a healthy eater.
see, I need to do better, being that I am diabetic. I have to do better. But I did have a salad,
See,
and then I had baked fish tonight. So I'm on it. I'm on it. I had baked fish with a little Italian dressing baked into it. Mm-hmm.
see, you did
I
good.
did.
You did very well.
And I even had my little veggies. I had to stuff it down real quick. Time be slipping up on me.
See,
Yeah.
see,
Hi,
all right.
Sue. Hi, Susan. Yeah, they just.
So what I'm going to do right now, Wendy, if I can take a few 5 minutes, page, get to know what we're doing here and get to know more about what your show's about. Can I do that?
Well, of course. Hold on. Somebody said my volume was low. They might need to turn their phone up. Let me just see if I can hear this. Okay. That's as high as I can go. I hope, Ray, you can hear me now. Can you hear me now?
All right, here we go. 2,000 followers. I'm hitting them all up right now.
Go right ahead. Hi, James Dick. I'm glad you're watching. So while you doing what you do, I'm just gonna give them a little bit of what I do. So as I stated earlier in the beginning, welcome everybody to the WRC Chronicles. And this is a Facebook Live Big Spanish brand. But in the meantime, you can catch all the good stuff right here on Facebook. And what I do, and my producer, Miss Alyssa Jones, we search high, low, and in between for real people with real stories who are willing to go on Facebook Live to my little television show and share their stories with the rest of you all. So with that being said, if you have a story to tell and you want to jump on the show, please, by all means, hit the inbox. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Talk about topics that everybody can relate to. No matter male, female, relationships, situationships, fetishes, yeah.
Church ships. We call them church ships. Yeah. When you meet somebody at church, a church ship.
Oh yeah, some of those too. We're gonna talk about some of these pimps in the pool pit. Oh, I got a whole bunch of stuff coming up for y'all. Next week is gonna be a hot week. We're gonna do nudist. Yeah, we're gonna dip off into the unknown because there's this misconception that black people don't believe in being nudist. So we're gonna talk about that.
Wait a minute. You said black people don't believe in nudists.
Yeah, because there's a stereotype that we're so conservative and that we don't like to venture out into other alternative lifestyles, so to speak.
Well, I must not be. I call myself a person of color because I definitely am black. Because I'm a nudist 24 if I have to be in my house.
Yeah,
that's how we do.
Now, so
I mean, I'm a nudist. I'm an exhibitionist, so I feel like, I have this self thing where I am the finest damn thing on earth. That's how I feel. I don't care if anybody gets mad right now. But, yeah.
Well, you know what? I feel the same way. You can't tell me on any given day that I ain't cute.
But I'm not sexy. I mean, let's really be real about that,
You all sexy.
And, it is what it is.
You all sexy piece of chocolate. I don't know. Yes. I like all 365 shades of black. Believe and know that to be so. So yes, I mean, we do have people that tend to think, because I had a past guest that one of his issues was, he says black women, we aren't open minded when it comes to sex versus other races, and I beg to differ. Everybody got to look at them. It's just
This is 2018. I think women of color are now open-minded in 2018.
I would think so. I mean, I've always been open-minded, and I do what don't really worry about what somebody else thinks about. That's what I offer yourself.
I mean, sex is very fluid.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
It is. Everybody does it at some point or another. I hope so.
Sex is pleasure.
It's supposed to be.
And fun.
It's supposed to be.
Did I say that? And fun.
She's watching the show. My bestie, Mary B. Morrison. She was on the show the other night. We had a ball. So hi, Mary. Y'all make sure you hit her fan page up, follow her, buy some books. Please buy some books. Trust me, there's some good stuff in there.
I'm gonna buy her book because if I write a book, they gonna take it off the shelf. So I'll buy everybody else's book.
Nah, they ain't gonna take it off the shelf because you got plenty of stories to tell.
Well, I would scare somebody with my stories.
I don't know. I don't think you would scare them. It might make them be like, clutch their pearls.
I might, yeah, like the girl said, clutch my pearls.
Yes.
Clutch my pocket. That's what that is, clutch my pocket.
You know what? I'm from pockets running deep over there. You can't fool.
All right, so I think I've already done 1,000 individuals on my page. I think my fingers, others can share this.
Okay, sound like.
Folks, please share. Please share. This is going to be a good night. This is the first of many. Please share. God Daddy Flex says to share. I want you to share. You know how
Please make sure y'all share.
This goes. So family and friends, please share this. This is going to be a good night. We're going to enjoy ourselves. And I appreciate for being on the show today. Thank you. I'm here.
And guess what? For those that don't know, Flex is going to be a reoccurring guest. So y'all will see him again. Trust me when I say. This is just I'm introducing him to you all tonight. But yes, he will be a reoccurring guest, jump in for different topics and, all that good stuff. But in the meantime, let me properly introduce you on the show so people will know who Flex is and what Flex is about. So Flex is / author, soon to be, I hope, actor, model, does a little singing. I think you've been in this business, 40 plus years?
Yes.
Speaker, and he is a promoter. Did I cover all the bases? I leave something.
Well, there's more, but no, we don't need all that.
Come on, Flex, don't be modest now.
I'm a bachelor. I cook, all that stuff. That is included too.
So you looking for right now? You putting the fillers out there though.
Just want somebody that I can date, and they go their way, I go my way. I'm at my age. I want somebody that goes home and not stay with me. We get together, we cuddle. I've been through it all, and I just want to,
Yeah,
Yeah,
We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that in a few minutes. Trust me what I say. But first, we're gonna do a couple of hot topics. So I'm gonna pick your brain a little bit about the Cosby situation. Of course, I'm pretty sure you've already heard. If not, he was convicted on 3 counts of sexual assault.
Well, when you play with pudding, be careful. He should have known better playing with pudding and Jell-O. Okay, you don't play in pillow, and when you don't do that. I think it's a sad situation. I'm sad that he messed. and they convicted him the way they did. But let's be real, Bill is old, and I'm not going to say, I was going to say something, but I'm going to keep it to myself. Bill is old, and my thing with that is that the situation he got himself caught into. I don't know if it was true. Here's my thing about that. I wasn't there. I don't know the truth. I don't know the lie. I really don't know. And I don't think anybody else knows, but those who come forward and said what they said about Bill, realistically, himself right or wrong. So, like I said, when you put your hand in the pudding and the jello, be careful.
Well, this is true. But I mean,
yeah,
in the fact you're a male and you've been in the entertainment industry for quite some time. So I'm pretty sure that you could probably tell some stories of where women have tried to, hit on you for a come up or whatever the case may be. So, it's crazy. So I'm not saying that Bill might not be guilty of taking the goodies. I just kind of question, being of his status, did you really need the drug to get it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, real talk.
Well, I believe that there was a time we all got high. We did what we did. We had sex high. And I believe that it was a mutual thing. That's how I feel. But they had good lawyers and they proved their reasoning and point. I mean, why go after a man that's so old? He might be a multimillionaire, but he's old. I mean, why go after a story we never know?
I agree, but I'm gonna speculate. The jury came back and said, okay, he's guilty. So my thing is, should there be a statute of limitations, regardless? But if these people were really victims, they're gonna continue to live with whatever was done to them the rest of their life. Just like him
right.
being a perpetrator, if he got away with it as long as he did. So I still feel like if truly he is guilty of something, and if nothing else, we know he's guilty of cheating. So, at the end of the day, it's kind of like karma came back to bite him in the ass in the worst way.
Right.
I think what really messed him up is that he paid one or two of them off, or tried to buy their silence, and it kind of backfired. So I'm saying, fellas, y'all better be careful.
But let me say this: the president can buy off somebody, and okay, I'm saying the president bought off somebody. His friends and stuff paid off, and they just let him go ahead and stay the president. So I'm confused.
Yeah, a lot of us are. I mean, it just goes to show how the people of the world seems to be thinking, or at least some of them anyway. I'm sorry, he grabbed people by the back.
You see what I'm doing, right?
We all know it's privilege, but that's what it boiled down to, privilege. So,
right.
With some things that we just can't. It is what it is, and sad to say. But, other reasons, I just be glad when that fool, either God called him home or he just decided, okay, somebody decided.
Right.
Because I don't know if I can deal with another 2.5 years. It's just crazy. So that leads me to my next topic. We're going to talk about cheating. We're going to talk about side boobs. We're going to talk about the side chick, or in your case, the side dude. So I'm just curious, because you're a handsome young man. What is it in the male psyche that causes y'all to cheat? Or should I say...
Okay, well, let me stop you right now.
Okay.
It's not the male psychic, okay? A lot of it is, I'm into science and all that, and I read up, and I went to school for it. A lot of it is people don't realize hormones really affect people. You women have that estrogen. It makes you slow. You guys gain weight. Y'all emotional. You emotional creatures. Women, you know, there's some floozies out there. I'm happy for them. But most women are kind of like, you know, their hormone level of arousal is not like skyrocket. But like a man with his testosterone, I'm just, you know, somebody's gonna say I'm lying, you know, whatever. But I know, as a man, I know testosterone.
Okay.
So, and it's what it is. I mean, our testosterone kicks in and it does its thing. A man can be aroused looking at a chocolate bar. I'm just saying, it happens.
I mean, I get that part. I'm pretty sure because most of, you know, is it true y'all think about sex 24/7? That's what.
No, girl, I'm sitting here talking about my food right now. And actually, for a second, while I was cooking, I got a little bit aroused over cooking because I was excited. So, you know, it was, yeah, so it wasn't about, you know, my food, you know, I'm just saying.
Okay. What the hell? Okay. Alyssa's talking about flex your phone, not on D&D. Okay, she's trying to tell you to put your phone on Do Not Disturb. See, my producer.
But how you do that? How you gonna do that?
Go to your settings and slap it on Do Not Disturb.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, no. Because see, every time your phone dings with a notification, it freezes you up.
Oh, well, see, y'all stop hitting me up.
Well,
people stop hitting me up.
You the one that
I'll figure it out next. I don't know how to do that, so I'm not that tech savvy. I know how to use my smartphone. It ain't that smart, you know. I'm just saying.
It's the operator. Let's go and tell the truth about it. It's the operator.
Right. But to start.
See, just like now.
You know, a lot of people don't believe it, but it is what it is.
Okay. What is what it is? Give me a better excuse than that one. Let's talk.
Okay, so I mean, okay. You know, women, you know, you have your monthly cycle, right? You have that monthly cycle.
Yeah.
And well, you may not, you older, you may not, not to insult you, but women have a monthly cycle, and that's to get rid of, you know, dirt and trash. Men have what we call a menstrual cycle too. But the problem is, and this I know for a fact, that when they have ejaculation, I'm going there, they sometimes they have what they call dirty or non-fertile sperm. Actually, it's dirt, it's trash coming out their body. They sweat, they do everything else, but they got to get rid of something else. You got to clean every hole in your body's got to be clean. I'm just saying it like it is. And a man's penile cleans itself out. So he might get aroused and, you know, ejaculate, but he's actually getting rid of something. That's part of the problem. And everyone thinks that men are always out to have sex, and that's not the thing. A release is required, because when a man gets blue balls, it's not a special feeling. Blue balls is not a special feeling. Imagine getting kicked or stomped on your toe more than 20 times a day.
Okay, it's painful.
You know, when a man takes Viagra, it's like when a man takes Viagra and he can't soften up, it's devastating.
Really? Devastating.
Devastation. I don't take Viagra. And I don't watch porn, people. Thank you.
What's wrong with watching a little porn?
I am the porn, thank you. We don't need no porn when I'm in the bedroom.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So you be breaking it all out, huh?
Hey, I'm not no 1 minute man. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm a 4-hour man.
4 hours? Ain't nobody going to be laying on their damn back 4 hours.
They ain't saying you got to be on your back. You could be on your side. You could be upside down. You better be part of my... Look, I'm a gymnastics coach. If you're not a gymnast, you can't be on my team.
Let me tell you something. I'm flexible. Even my doctor was impressed with me being flexible. And I'm having issues right now, even with my legs, with the nerve pain.
Wait a minute, how's your doctor knowing you that flexible? That's not good.
She the one that was rotating and moving my hips, and so she was like, you real flexible. I'm just saying, she was the first one to tell me. She's like, "Ooh, you real flexible." I'm like, "Thank you. I tried." Now, I can't sit up here and say that I'm putting my legs behind my neck these days, but I can click them in the air and click, 3 times with the heels on. Ain't no place like home.
I used to be flexible too. Now I got the name Flex because I was flexible. But as I got muscle, I couldn't be as flexible. But I was skinny and I was toned, but now I'm muscular.
But see,
with a little belly.
Well, that does make a difference. Because, see, this is the now I'm just going to say it, in my mind, when a man starts to gain a little weight, he might be well endowed, but I swear I'll be that thing starts to shrink up as he gets a little fatter.
That's why a man needs to bring it.
I'm just saying, I swear I'll be
in the bedroom to keep things going.
You might want to talk to some of these young out here because they need some help. And some of these old ones too, because they be swearing out they putting it down in the bedroom and they really ain't. I'm just saying. I'm just going to keep it 100. A lot of them just thinking that they walking around here, they king ding-a-ling, and they putting it down in the bedroom and really ain't. So for you, I go 4 hours. I mean, come on that player. I'm just saying, you's a rare one. Because I don't know too many unless they on some damn Cialis or Viagra or something to keep that damn thing. Unless he got a pump now. He might be able to do that. That's a conversation for today. Is that including foreplay?
Okay, I'm just saying.
Am I getting 2 hours of foreplay and then down to the business?
No, it depends. I mean, if you're ready to get in the business, we do a little foreplay in the business. Now, look, I can go in the business for 3, and I can do the foreplay for 15. It depends on the mood.
Lord have mercy.
Depends on the mood. Just remember I said this. Remember I said in the beginning, sex is pleasurable. It can be fun. That's the secret.
It's supposed to be, but sometimes I think people overthink it. That might be some of the problem. But
you're not supposed to overthink it. You're supposed to let it flow and just feel it. And it's like riding a bicycle on a good sunny day with a breeze, like a peppermint patty.
See, here's the problem. Most of these brothers, I hate that. I'm putting some of y'all on Front Street. It's hard to enjoy and get pleasure if you a 3-pump chump. Bottom line. So by the time she's starting to get aroused and get there, you done. Who can enjoy that? And some of y'all women, let me go ahead and just put this on out here. Some of y'all women, y'all need to tell these men folk. Y'all need to tell them up front. You ain't doing it right, bro. You just ain't doing it right. You can't fuck. And
well, a lot of that. Sometimes women have to teach a man what she enjoys.
Sometimes it's a whole lot of times because see, some of y'all men,
not all men know
this idea that the way you're doing it is the way that it's a standard all the way across the board for every female, and so they get it in their mind.
Right.
If I hit it to the left or I hit it to the right 2 or 3 times and grunt, then it's over. That's satisfying that female. Not every woman, gonna get down with that process. You got to come better.
Right.
You got to be. I'm with you on that. I believe in jumping off the damn dresser. Just go on and say it. That's my off the damn dresser. I don't jump like I used to, but I still jump off a damn dresser. Damn. Just so y'all know. Hey, that's my damn walk right there. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's the only thing slow about me right there is my walk. Everything else works just
right. Right.
But they still don't answer the question, why y'all men folk be cheating though? Why y'all can't be satisfied with just one?
No, because I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna say this because I've been married and I did some dirt back in my day, but she did it too. Okay. I did all, and I was at home dad, and I did everything I was supposed to do as a father and a husband, as a mate, and everything that I was supposed to do. But I wasn't getting what I needed at home.
Okay.
I was getting neglected. You cannot, and it's not sexual either. I was getting neglected. Even the kids were getting neglected.
Okay.
It got to a point where, she was neglecting what I needed. I wanted quality time with just her. And it got to a point where it was me, her, and the kids. I love the kids, I do, but the thing was, I needed my time with her.
Okay. So she wasn't giving you enough of time. And so
right, neglection. You can't neglect your mate. Because that goes both ways. Men cheat and women cheat. And if a woman is cheating on her man, he's not giving her what she desires. Attention. Don't neglect your mate in any way. And I was a man that came to my wife and cried and said, I'm having a problem. We need to work on this. Oh, we're going to work on it. And she never did. At least I came forward. And most people do come forward in their relationships and put it out there. But then again, when you go in a relationship, you need to let somebody know right away. This is what I'll tolerate. This is what I won't tolerate. And this is what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. If you can't do it, go through the door. And we can just be friends and with benefits and hang around and do whatever. Because if the sex is good and we liking it, well, we good. But if it's a relationship that you're really bonded in, then, there's no need for the cheating if there's communication. Communication is the number one key.
And you know what the sad part about it is? That's the main thing that most of us forget how to do. It seems like once we get in these relationships or situationships, I like to call them, that's the main thing. But see, here's the next issue. If you take sex out of some of these situations, there wouldn't be a relationship. So,
bingo.
And that's the truth of the matter. So it kind of says to me, are most people just getting with somebody in a relationship just so they can have sex? Because otherwise they don't have anything in common. I mean, they're not building, they're not trying to move forward, build legacies, do some shit other than just jumping in that bed and call it a day. But see, I'm having an issue, and I was going to post up, I was going to go in on it. But the spirit said, no, just behave somewhat. I did a little bit, somewhat.
Right.
It's like, I feel like men, y'all be expecting a whole lot from these females, but ain't willing to put back that same effort.
But the problem with that, Wendy, is sometimes women assume men need to know everything, and some men weren't taught that at home, or they didn't have set by example to do that. I was raised with set by example.
Right. Meaning
some people don't have that. Some people didn't have that privilege.
You had both parents in the home, correct?
No, I had my mother and father were separated and divorced, but I had my family. I come from a very close-knit family out of New Jersey, and I had my family and family friends. We grew up, in my day, we grew up in a little neighborhood, and we were raised by the neighborhood. You know how that was. And I had my grandfather who was there, and my uncles were there. So I had the presence of family, and even in North Carolina, when I visit my family, I had the presence of committed relationships, grandfather, grandmother, uncle, aunt. So I had examples to set by example, you know what I'm saying? So I knew what I was looking for when I started looking for a mate and what I don't want in a mate. So I had example, and I was taught how to be treated and how to treat others.
Okay. I'm with you on that. Everything is trial and error and compromise at some point.
Right.
And you have to have standards. And see, the thing of it is, I think a lot of people get manipulated and get told, well, if you don't abide by X, Y, Z, somebody else's moral code, then, you're going to be single the rest of your life. And all that kind. Because some of y'all men folks, that's the first line y'all going to holler when a woman says she has particular standards. You know, certain things she's gonna tolerate, certain things that she's not gonna tolerate. But yet and still, you'll still try to reverse that psychology on that bitch, have her manipulating, thinking that you all in and you really ain't. And you know, at the end of the day, it's wasted time. And it's really listening. And I do think people should be upfront about what they want. But so at times you meet a representative first. And that's what reels most folks. That first 3 months is what I like to call that little trimester. And that's usually people
Right.
their very best they are. And then once they get comfortable and convinced you that I'm the one, that these are the traits or these are the characteristics that you're looking for. And then next thing you know, you're looking at them 6-7 months down the road, you're like, I don't like the way this food ass. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why this generation now is called the fast generation, convenience. Boom, 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 run into it. That's why I tell people always be friends. Okay, people laugh at me when I say I have many friends with benefits. I'm sorry, but I have friends with benefits. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason. So I get to know them, because that way, if that friend is not all of what I think the kind of mate it should be, if it falls into that, then we would stay friends with benefits. That's how I roll.
So do you kind of like tell them off gate, look, I just want some pussy?
Yep.
I mean, I'm not vulgar when I say it that way, but I mean,
yep,
that's what it is. We're adults. So for y'all, you know, if you got sensitive ears, then you might want to turn to another station. But we keep it 100 over here. And yes, sometimes I do cuss. That's just who I am. I ain't going to change who I am. So again, if you got a problem with the content, you can always switch channels. But I hope you. However,
well, I honestly, I tell them people, I'm like, right now, let's start out as friends. Because, you might find this person, farts in the middle of the night. And that shit stink. You ain't want to be next to them with your life. I mean, I snore. And I tell people, look, I snore. You may not want to stay overnight because I snore.
I mean, it might be a problem, but hell, I don't know. Which is worse, snoring or farting in the middle of the damn night? Either one might run. I'm just saying, it's nature. It's bound to happen at some point. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. But what is the true meaning of having a friend with a benefit? So that's just saying I don't see nothing else about you other than I just want to, ride the waves. We just gonna get it and that's it. I don't like nothing else about you except your sex game. And we ain't gonna never progress. So, okay, better yet, here's a better question. So with these friends with benefits, do you ever find yourself like, okay, we gonna change the narrative that this person might actually be the one, but you started off solely just sex partners.
Right.
So how does that flow? I mean,
we become, okay, when I say friends with benefits, let me say this. Friends with benefits can be sexual, can be companion to go to fest or something like that, to an outing. Friends with benefits can be somebody you enjoy conversation with, and that's all you all do. It's somebody for companionship. So it's a wide range of that. It just doesn't always have to be sexual. Okay? So with that being said, when you find that friends with benefits that you kind of mush with, mm-hmm. that mushing, you have to tend to, how can I explain? That mushing is growing to know that person. So if you're friends with benefits and you guys are kind of feeling each other and you say, okay, let's do this, you come with an understanding of having, because you might find out 3 days down the line, that may not be the mate for you. So you allow yourself to still be open to date other people, but you're an exclusive sexual, if you're sexual with that person, you're an exclusive sexual partner with that person. Okay? And if they're going to be dipping and dabbing on the outside, each other should be true and honest about what they're doing.
See, and this is the problem that I know most women ain't gonna want to hear that. I mean, real talk. Most of them, once they giving up them cookies, they gonna get emotionally attached, and they ain't gonna want you slinging that wangama thing out there to everybody. Hey, they might pretend, okay, I'll get, and y'all ladies, I'm sorry, most of y'all ain't built like men for with that mindset that it's just sex. You know, it is. I'm sorry to put it out there the way I just did, but you know, let's just be honest. Start catching them down feelings, and you run around there jumping out of bushes and shit, trying to check his phone and everything else. But you only the friends with benefits. But you done allowed yourself to get caught up emotional,
right?
And then you want to get upset. But when he told you off the gate, look, I just want to hit it, you know, and that's it. So people need to be a little bit more aware of what they're getting into before they start accepting certain situations. But that's just...
You're right. I ran into that situation. I had somebody who knew the rule and said, well, you made me fall in love. I didn't make you fall in love with me. You knew exactly what the story was. You know exactly what the story was.
Exactly. I'm trying to read what this fool said. What are y'all talking about in your sleep? Oh, no. And then somebody said earlier, they talking about if you making love for 4 hours, you gonna snore. So, you better be after 4 hours, shit. You still got
you knocked out.
Still got a pulse. I'm just saying. Good Lord. I just with that. Okay. 4 hours though, flex. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that a little bit more. 4 hours.
Well, the secret is, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. If you go to the gym and you eat healthy, like I just did, and eat healthy, your libido is gonna go up. Your oxygen rate is perfect. Now, I got asthma, and my doctor says I'm the most healthiest patient he ever seen come to the door. I have no high blood pressure, no diabetes, no nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
Hi, Brian. I see it.
Okay.
Brian's my brother.
Okay. Yeah, I was just looking down there like, okay, I'll tell him, but hopefully he'll see it. Somebody said they look. Casa, you know what? You ain't done one. I love my insides too, and I ain't gonna have you be tearing my shit out. Sorry. It so much your damn pussy bone hurt. Hell no. Get up and walk the next.
Well, that's where toys and skilled hands and body parts come in real handy.
I'm trying to tell you. Not only that, what that mouth do. Let's keep. What that mouth do? You know what?
I mean, I got a gap in my teeth. That's a good thing too.
Oh, sugar now. I know what that means.
I got a gap.
First time I done actually got a little warm over here and blushing. I didn't even realize black people can blush like this. Ooh, Lord. I'm trying to told you the sap is right. You know what I'm saying? This is mating and dating season. Or however you choose to do it, but it is what it is. Y'all just play hard, but play.
Hey, folks, share the button for me. I want everybody to share the share button.
Yes.
We're having a good time here. We got some topics. I think she wants to ask me a question. I got a feeling I know what it is because she talked to me about it briefly the other day. But we'll see what it is. But we're going to go ahead and go there. Yeah, because I think you asked me something earlier, and I kind of rushed and said, well, you can ask if you want to.
Well, you sure you ready for me to reveal that?
No, because you was talking about, you said something about side boobs.
Yeah.
Side boobs.
I do. I want to know about the side boobs.
Well, the side boob thing, I'm a side boob.
Yes.
I'm a side boob. And I really don't mind it because, like I told you, I like friends with benefits. And I'm pansexual, which means I date all sexes, all genders, put it in the pot, pick it out which one, that's the one for the day, That's how I explained it to my mom. She's like, what's pansexual? Is that bisexual? I said, no. Mom, imagine a cast iron frying pan, throwing a whole bunch of eggs in there. Just pick one out. She's like, oh, that's just a whore. That's just being whorish. That's just pure nasty. I said, well, I'm just pure nasty, Mom. It's what it is. So, so for me, pansexuality for me is I'm attracted to the soul and the mind of a person. It's not about the gender. Not about the gender. So I date men, women, trans women. I know, as long as you got a human body and some skin, we good.
We good. We good, huh? So
yeah.
Should I go ahead and light this cigarette before I say what I'm getting ready to say next?
You go ahead and say what you got to say next. Because, I don't mind being a side boob. It's not a problem for me.
But see, you get the opportunity to have the best of both worlds, correct?
I'm greedy. Yeah, because I'm pansexual. I don't believe in monogamous.
Well, before I bring out the rest of that conversation, we're going to talk about monogamy. Do you think it's natural? I honestly beginning to think it's not.
I don't think monogamy was even created at all. Because if you think about dogs, you think about animals on this earth, they procreate with many different mates as well.
Yeah, they do.
So we come from the earth. You're human cells, and cells multiply with other cells. So I don't believe in monogamous. I really don't. That's someone's preference. That's where they're comfortable. I'm happy for them. But I don't believe that monogamous is true. I don't. Because I'm polyamorous. I'm all over.
So you don't mind sharing, in other words?
Long as my mate and I are safe with what we're doing, and we are HIV, getting tested for HIV, STDs, and we protect ourselves, that's a big requirement. Anybody I deal with, even as a side boo, that's a requirement between me and my boo-boos that I mess around with. It's an agreement. I mean, even if I was to contract an STD, I would have to let them know. It's only fair. Because my individuals that I deal with, some of them are married, they have mates.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
Talk
about that. So,
you
don't mind dealing with married individuals?
No, I don't.
I mean, basically.
Well, I'm not there to take away from their commitment. I don't want them to live with me because I'm not trying to have a relationship with them in the future, because here's my thing. How I got you, you're going to do the same thing to me. That's how I feel. So I don't mind being your side boo or your friend with benefits.
I agree.
I'm not trying to take you away. And I don't need your time every day. I might see you every 3 months or once a month.
Let's see. Who says side boo is easier? It's just a supporting role.
Yes. I don't mind being number 2.
Because you just ain't looking for no committed relationship. Am I correct?
No. If you already committed, why do I want you? Because if you're doing what you're doing with me, if I commit to you, you're going to do the same thing.
True. That is true.
And yeah, I can fall in love, but you know what? I don't believe in the word fall in love. I believe in growing in love, something my grandparents taught me. My grandmother said she didn't like my grandfather when she first met him. I said, but you love him. She said, I learned to grow in love, and one day you will learn to grow in love as well.
Mm-hmm.
And as old as I am, I've been married 3 times. Actually, I've been married 6 times legally. Yeah, legally. And I loved them, but I wasn't in love.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't fall in love.
Mm-hmm. And it is a difference. It is a difference, because I think most of the time it's that infatuation and lust. A lot of people learn the difference between love and lust. There's a difference.
Right.
You have to grow into loving that person, because we have to remember everybody's human. We all have flaws. We all gonna make mistakes. So I don't know.
Right.
Even that it was love at first sight. No, it was like, I'm probably looking at you thinking, I wonder what that mouth do. I wonder, honestly, you sitting there, you sizing them up in your mind, and you might be attracted to the laughter, whatever it is, about that person. But I don't think that you just automatically fall in love with them. It takes time.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So
I'm totally with you on that.
my whole thing is my whole thing is this. At my age, I know what I'm looking for. Yes, I have my eye on several women, individuals out there, but with the conversations we've had, they're not ready. So I know right away I'm not anticipating to be in a relationship with either one of them, but we have a very good friendship.
Okay. And that's the thing of it. I'd rather be friends. Sometimes you don't need to cross the line with folks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes you have to leave it right where it's at. I'd rather save that friendship than to ruin it by trying to force a relationship.
Right. Correct. So correct. So correct.
Okay. So Ray, I hate to see you go, but I understand. You got to bounce. Let's see what else. I was reading a few comments.
Sheila said, "Karma, because you accept Cyber as a title, when you will, won't you will still keep getting supporting roles, don't you think?" I don't mind a supporting role. I'm an actor.
Well,
I don't mind. At 56, I don't mind being a supporting role. I'm financially stable for myself. I'm economically, financially, mentally, I'm stable for me. I'm good to go. I mean, like I said, somebody's caught up in a relationship now, and I'm dealing with them and I'm their side boo. I just feel like, it is what they do. And I've had their mates come to me and say, "Are you messing with?" And I'm like, "No, they messing with me."
ooh,
I told them, they're messing with me. I don't want them. Do you think I want to take them from your home? They haven't left, have they?
I don't know, Flex. With you going 4 hours, you gonna pull somebody away from their house.
That's a vacation.
You gonna pull
Wendy, that's a vacation, Wendy.
you call it what
That's a part-time vacation.
you call it.
It's called vacation. Everybody need a vacation
Yeah, we do.
from the real world.
I need one myself, but I'm just saying, good damn well you gonna pull somebody up at their house. I'm surprised you ain't got stalkers. You probably got one right now, like, Wait till you get off that live. I'm jumping at them.
They're gonna reveal themselves because I don't know anybody that's stalking me right now. They might reveal themselves after this live, though.
They might. I'm trying. What is Lila talking about? Have you pulled?
I have not pulled the bat out, Alicia. There has been no need for it at this time.
I've got a coming after tonight. You're gonna reveal 4 hours, but there's also something else that they need to know. Flex, shall I tell them? Shall I tell them the secret?
Go on, tell them the secret.
Well, the secret is Flex gets the opportunity to have the best of both worlds. And the reason being is because Flex was born a female and has transgendered to male. So he can actually speak for both sides, I'm assuming, of the fence.
Right. I have lived my life as born female for a long time, and then I transitioned to male, and now I live the life as a man of color. So I kind of get a feel for some things.
Literally speaking, huh? Yes.
Yeah.
And James Wright is like, what? Yes. Yes. So I'm going to let you elaborate a little bit further because I see the shock factor.
Well, before, when I said I was married 6 times, I was married legally to 3 men in my past life, and then I married 3 women. And now I'm a single man at 56. So, no, that's not why I can go 4 hours. I was taught how to go 4 hours. I don't know what y'all talking about. I was taught to go 4 hours. Let me get some light so you all can see what I look like.
Yeah,
A little bit. I was eating earlier, and I think some people want to see what I really look
yeah.
like. Um, that look better.
Well, sex.
So, so with that being said, I am male. I'm female to male, what they call female to male, or they would call me transgender, trans male, and I live my life daily as a male. Um, and this is who I am. Uh, but 4 hours has nothing to do with that. It's just skill, knowledge, and knowing what you're doing.
Amen. Amen. See.
Thank you, James. Thank you.
But you living in your truth. That's what matters.
I live my truth every day. I walk outside. I walk outside.
Yeah. Because the world sees you as a male. Because you are a man. You know. It is.
By face value, that's who I am. By face value.
Yeah. You are. Like I said, ain't nothing wrong with living in your truth. And I know these viewers are like, what?
So that's who I am, and this is how I live. And me being a side boo, I was a side boo when I was female body, and I'm a side boo as a man as well.
Yep. All day. That's why I was trying to drop them a few hints. You get the best of both worlds. I mean,
well, not really. I really don't get the both of both worlds. I just seem to understand the two different genders in a different eyesight. The only way that I get the both of both worlds is if anybody can have the both of both worlds. A man can have the both of both worlds if he's dating a woman and a man. And a woman can have the both of both worlds if she's bisexual and dating a man and a woman. She can have that as well. I just happen to be able to see both sides of the spectrum of two genders.
James says he wants to meet you.
Okay, James.
Well, James, it's out there, so y'all can make that happen. Okay. He said he just wants one. Okay.
Okay. He's special. I like him. He's very special.
Yes, he is. That's my buddy. Shout out to James Wright, y'all, for the Wright Styling Center. He is a hairdresser, owner, entrepreneur, and he does a hell of a job when it comes to getting your wig tightened up. Trust me when I tell you. So, you know what? You might can pay James a visit at the Wright Styling Center here in Greensboro. Y'all check him out. James, that's your plug for the night. Oh, he's an excellent hairdresser. Cosmetologist, you know, he does the whole 9 yards. I think he does makeup even as well, but you wouldn't need all that. But you might need that beard tighten up a little bit here and yonder.
Oh, I'm letting it grow. You know how they let it grow? I don't even blow dry it. I just let it grow.
Just let it grow, huh? So I don't expect to go up in the Beard Games Matter group, though.
That's just my look. It's just my look. That's all it is.
Well, I like it. I like it. So how long have you been transitioning? Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be questions coming pretty soon, and they're curious to know how long.
I've been in transition. I started when I was 16.
Okay.
I started when 16. Medically at the age of 28. Medically. And surgically, my top half, because it's easier to make a hole than make a pole. Surgically, I have had, the top half in 2016.
Okay. So that means, for those who don't understand, you had your breast removed, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so he had his breast removed, so now he got them nice pecs, 6-pack, yeah, strong.
And a belly. And a belly.
Just a little bit. It's a nice little pot belly.
It's a bear belly. It's a little bear belly.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. Let's see. Hi, Joseph. Oh, I'm sorry. That's
Jocelyn, Renee, hello. James, and a poll.
So now they're gonna be curious, like, well, now we know why he can go 4 hours. So you have mastered the art of emasculating a man in that department, correct?
Yep, I use a strap on and I have skill.
Well, there you go.
I have been told by many women that when they are intimate with me, and some men when they're intimate with me, that I'm a true man. That's what they say. You are a true man. Oh my God. That's all they say. And they'll say they've never had someone like me they're like, you're a true man. Oh my God. That's what they say. I was like, okay, I'll take that.
Hey, why not? That's another notch on your belt, ego stroked, and everything in between, right? Cassis?
Yep.
That's what she was thinking. Okay, so I answered your question. Y'all got questions for Flex? Please feel free, throw it on in there. He is open to all questions. Let it roll. Got a thought? Roll. That's what we do. Y'all gonna learn something about these WRC Chronicles. I always got a little twist. Always a little wicked twist. Always. So you never know what might pop up with these live chronicles. But, this is real. This is real people, real issues, real topics, real life. And so I applaud you for being able, for one, to live in your truths. And I go back to that, and then you'll hear me say that quite often, because too many people are afraid to live in their truth. And then, of course, you're not concerned about the backlash. And, you got so many folk who want to sit around and condemn, especially the church folk, so to speak, so heavily bound that they ain't no earthly good.
Right.
So it's good when you are comfortable being you. So you've always known or felt that I'm not going to necessarily say you were born in the wrong body, but you always feel that you was born in the wrong body. Or
no, let me say that. A lot of us don't feel like we were in the wrong body. We just sense something is different about ourselves. Not all of us feel that way. Me, I felt something was different, and I thought it was a sexual problem, but it wasn't a sexual problem. I knew something was very different about me. It wasn't about the body, because I'll be honest with you, when I was female body, I was fine as hell, and I thought I was sexy then, and I knew I looked good, and I accepted the body for what I had. I just knew something was different. So for me, it was different for me, and it wasn't about being in the wrong body, because for 55 years, I've had to live with man boobs, and downstairs that hasn't had any surgery. I've had to deal with my body the way it is. I accepted the body I was born into, but I knew that in time, just like a snake can shed its skin every season. So every season, something different was changing about me, and my seasons were the medical changes. My season was my surgery. So for me, it wasn't about being in the wrong body. It was adjusting myself to feel as I felt, to be in the body I need to be in.
I can feel that. I can understand. Jocelyn, yes, he has been cut on top. So yes, he asked that question just a moment ago. So I know you just tuning in and probably missed it. X-Ray Davis, he says, has a woman been pissed at you?
Has a woman been pissed at me? For what?
I have no idea. He just threw it up there. I don't know why she would be pissed. Because you do, once you establish that you're going to be with somebody, you do tell them out the gate.
Oh yeah, everybody that I interact with sexually, they know who I am. I do not play games with people. I don't want someone to play games with me, and I don't play games with them. Just when I'm interacting with someone, I ask them, are you committed? Are you in a relationship? Because I have to know that for my own safety. I'm responsible for my own wellness and my safety.
Amen.
So nobody can do that for me. So I ask them, and as they ask me, I don't, if I'm going to be intimate with someone, I let them know. If it's just we're meeting, I don't have to say, I don't have to admit everything unless I'm going to be intimate with someone.
I agree with that, but I mean that's only fair. I feel like that's fair. People should be aware of what they're getting themselves into.
Right.
You know, it's real out here, and that goes across the board when we even deal with STDs. People need to be aware of what they're and have a choice, and everybody
Right.
less you all later time. So Jocelyn is asking, she said she got small scars. Let me see if I can go back and find it. She says, are you cut under like me?
I had a tease when I had my surgery. It's what they call a double incision. I had the double incision surgery, so I still have scars. I just had my surgery in 2016, at the end of 2016. So my body is still healing. So in time, the scars will slowly diminish. But at this time, I will show it. I have no shame to it. I mean, that's the scars.
Okay.
But that I will keloid a bit because I am of African American descent. I have a percentage of that in my body. So.
Wow. So you do the injections, correct?
Yes, I do testosterone injections. That's how I know what testosterone feels like in the body versus my estrogen level. When I was female body, I was not sexually active as I am now. My libido is up. Everything is crazy.
I guess it was. So you always just had a high sex drive, but it just went into overdrive when you start transitioning and getting the testosterone.
Actually, my sex drive until I started the testosterone. I mean, I was sexually active, but not as high as I was now. Now, I'll be honest with you. My sex drive is overdrive. It's overdrive.
Oof. Just want to get it in all the time, huh? 4 hours
Not every day now. Not every day. I gotta work, and I gotta go to the gym and have a life and cook and do things. But my drive is a lot better than it was before. You could walk up to me and say, "Let's have sex," and I would be just like a woman back in the day because I was female body. I'd be like, "I'm not in the mood." How do women do that? I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood. Now it's like, really? Okay, let's go. I'm just saying.
Ooh.
If you tell me you're ready to go, I'm ready to go with you.
Okay, so Jocelyn is asking a personal question.
With the testosterone, the testosterone stops all of what the estrogen would do to my body. It curtails the estrogen. So my testosterone now stops the cycle. It stops anything that the estrogen would do to my body.
Well, we know you ain't gonna worry about having no children at this age, so.
No, and I'm getting ready to have my hysterectomy.
Okay.
So I won't be having any children. So if there's anybody that wants some of Flex's eggs and wants some cute babies, we can work on that.
Well, there you go, peoples. Go ahead and get you some of them eggs. Are you gonna sell them, or you just gonna donate to society? Which one is it?
No, if somebody want to have children with me, we'll talk about it. I would like to have one child.
Yeah. So that would mean you would have to do an adoption, though, correct? And so, how would that play out if you chose? And this is a kind of a topic that I think people need to be educated on as well. So, being that you have transgendered to a male, and if you were to get in a relationship, I guess another male or female, whatever the case may be, how would you explain to the dynamic?
How would I explain to
the child?
To who? The doctor or the mate?
Well, hell, I guess all of it, because at the end of the day, I'm assuming, you know, if you were to do that, then of course it would be adoption. However, raising a child under the circumstances of you being transferred to male, so if you were to find a male, whether that be male or female, how dynamic of
I'm with
raising
a
that
man.
child or telling it.
If I'm with a male, he and I both would understand that there's no possible way that I would probably have a child. I'm not going to carry children at 56. I'm just going to let y'all know that. Now, if I was in my 20s, I might carry a child, but I'm 56. What do I look like carrying a child at 56? I'm not doing it. I'm being honest with you. My wellness, it may not be good and healthy for me. I am a small-framed individual, so it may not be healthy for me. So I'm not going to carry children, but if my mate wants to have children and decides we want to adopt, we can do that. I will adopt children. I have no problem with that. If I have a mate that's a female, a cisgender, or as also what I call a biological born female, and she wants to have children, we can work on some form of artificial, which is fine and dandy. If I am with a trans woman, we would adopt.
Right. So how you gonna tell that child as they get older that daddy was once a female?
I think when the child gets older, I believe that comes when the child's mature enough to handle that. I don't believe to tell children that are young, because children at young have no filter.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that when you tell your child of your transition, the child must be able to handle that. I mean, it's different when you're gay or you're lesbian. It's easier for kids to kind of adapt to that a little bit. I mean, and because it's not as confusing.
I agree.
Because you're still the gender you are. When you're telling a child, I used to be a woman and I'm your dad, I used to be, that child is like, what the hell? Because that child is taught that female dogs have babies and the male dogs help them have the babies. So now you're telling me you was a woman, so you was a kid will look at it like, well, you was a female dog, now how you become a male dog?
It'd be a little confusing.
Right. Children look at human beings similar to as they look like at pets or other animals. So you have to be cautious of how you present that to your children. Now, my ex's oldest boy, he knew at 11, but because he needed to know. But the youngest one was not aware because he had no filter.
Mm-hmm.
If he was proud of me, no wonder he wouldn't even understand what transgender or transman would. But if somebody said, well, hello, ma'am, he'd be like, that's my dad, and he's a trans man. He has no filter. He's proud of his dad, but he doesn't understand.
Yeah, he put the business all out in the street, huh?
Yeah, so you have to be careful of the children that you present it to. And I mean, even if I've got family members that know I'm transitioned, and they have children. And we don't speak about it to their children, because if the children are interested, they come to me. They come to me.
Well, that makes an interesting family cookout, I tell you that.
Well, this year I'm going to my mother's family for the first time, a family reunion. It's been 25 years.
Uh-oh.
And we have cousins that have children that are not aware of my transition. So this is going to be very interesting.
It is. I was getting ready to say, how are they going to present you to the children? Well, I'm just curious on how the other family members that haven't seen you, because if they haven't seen you in 25 years, that means the last time they saw you, you was as female, correct? So
right,
it's going to be a culture shock to them to see you now and be like, wait a minute, is that the same person? What happened here? So that's going to be...
Well, it's kind of funny you said that, because I had a cousin who passed away not too long ago. And some of us were all at the funeral, and one of my cousins hadn't seen me in 10 years. So he sat beside me, and he was like, I had to remember mine. He looked at me, he said, I wasn't know if that was you or not. And he said, but now I know it's you, because I'm the shortest of both. On my father's side and my mother's side, I'm the shortest one. So he knew it was me.
Yeah.
And he could tell. He said, I saw you walking, limping. And I was like, who is this little cat walking around limping? We ain't got nobody short like that in the family. And then when I turned around and looked, he said, hey, cousin, how you doing? Then we got to talking, and then he realized who I was.
Ah.
But I hadn't seen my other cousin that lives in D.C. as well, and he hadn't seen me in God knows when, since he got married many, many years ago. And he was standing next to his mother, and I was like, hey, cousin, I was like, hi, young man, how are you doing? And he was looking at me like, who's this guy? And it dawned on him who I was. And he said, I didn't know who you were.
Yeah.
He said, he said, you got me. I didn't even know who you were. I was trying to figure out who you were. So they're learning to adapt. Family is learning to adapt. It's hard on my parents, and I mean my mother. It was hard on my mother because she birthed me. And it's hard. And my brother's just coming around because that's mama's boy. But it's taking time. They're learning to use the right pronouns. They're learning to use the right name. They're learning to adjust slowly. I didn't force it on them, but I let them know that this is getting ready to happen, and you got to be ready.
Yeah. I mean, what else can they do but get ready and accept it? Because it's not going to change your mind one way or the other. You are who you are.
Right. And the ones that are uncomfortable, they will not sit around me. They don't stay, they're cordial, but I know they're uncomfortable.
Yeah. Like I said.
So, and I don't push it on them. Because at the end of the day, they're not paying my bills. I don't go to sleep with them at night, and they're not feeding me. I've never gone to any of my family members and said, I need money to help me get through my transition.
Nope. So their opinion really don't count. Let's see. I had a couple of questions.
As far as anything, my legal documentation, I will say this as I say to everyone. I am legally gendered male on documentation by way of transitional experience.
So that answered that question. He's a man.
Yes, I am. As the trans women say, I'm a whole man.
Oh, man. Just whole man. Just a whole one that goes 4 hours. Yeah, I'm going to rag you. It tickles my spirit now. I'm just saying. So, let the people know some of the stuff that you got going on. I know you're not activist, so to speak. And I know you have some foundations. So give people a little bit of information about those type of things. I know you have a radio show as well.
Yes. I have a radio show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. The show is a blog talk radio. And you call in and you speak and you have a good time. We conversate. That's at 9:30 on Tuesdays. And you can find that on my page here on Facebook. Also, we have a Sex Talk T101. That's on Wednesdays at 10:30. We talk about everything under the sun, put the bed to the bed, get a glass of wine, and we just go into it. I'm also the founder and executive director of affairs for the Fifth Avenue Alliance LGBT Transgender Stability Assistance Project, which is a program that will assist the LGBTQIRA across the board community members that are going through struggles because of livelihood crisis in order to assist them to become stable. Because, when people are unstable, they become victims of risk and danger. So we're trying to assist people with housing, education, employment, legal assistance, consultation, as well as health and wellness as well. And that organization began when I first was kicked out of my mother's home at 16. I helped people ever since I was 16 with having shelter because I knew being homelessness and not having was not stable for anyone's mindset or even their well-being. So for years, I have allowed people to stay with me. I've helped them find employment. I've even helped people buy cars. I've reached out. I always say this to everyone. I may not have much, but what I give is from my heart. And what I give is freely because those who helped me in the LGBT community when I have no place to go and had nothing to do, when no one was there for me, they helped me. And they told me to give back freely to those as well. So that's what I do. What else do? I do about, you call me to do something, they call me the Godfather. And if there's nothing that I can't do, I'll find someone to do it for me.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Got to give back. Got to give back. If more people adapted that attitude, we'd be less unfortunate folks, because it has to be a struggle when I don't know much about the LGBT community. I'm still pretty much learning because I'm open-minded to everything, because people are people. And so I can only imagine that the mental stress that one would have to deal with, especially if they choose to transgender. And so does that...
Now say transition. Wendy, let's use the word transition. Transgender is the state of we're in.
Transition, y'all. I told you I'm still learning. I don't know all the lingo. I'm still learning. Zion says hi.
Hi, Zion.
Cornelia, the topic is hot topics. And you might be a few minutes late joining in, so I'm going to give you a quick recap. We've talked about a little bit of everything under the sun, but the kicker is Flex the Entertainer is a transgendered man, meaning he was born female but transgender to male. And you would never know it looking at him. It looks good. Oh, and he can also go 4 hours too. Yes. All right, so they can find you at all these places. I want you to make sure that you put your links in at the end of this video. So for the foundation, so that wants kick in and help. That's what we do. We try to help each other, look out for one another. So you put all your good information in there for somebody, because someone could probably use your services. Somebody needs your services, for whatever reasons. Like I said, it has to be difficult in some areas, when it comes to housing, work, what have you. Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know for sure, but I'm sure there's some discrimination when you go.
There is a lot of discrimination. I will say this, that when it comes to the southern, there's discrimination. When it comes to housing, it's hard because a lot of our nonprofit organizations throughout the United States are run by churches. And because of that, some of the churches like Salvation Army and other churches, they have a little bit of discrimination issues. It's hard for them to know to be comfortable to put a trans woman in a shelter because they're uncomfortable with that, or gay people in a shelter. So a lot of times our own individuals will not go to these shelters because they fear the discrimination that's there. And because of our own dysphoria, being gay or being trans, we tend to not go in those avenues because we don't want to deal with the strife and the stress behind that. So with that being said, we try to find other avenues of, housing. When it comes to education, not education, but when it comes to employment, it's easier for LGBT to walk in the door as long as they don't say they're gay. But as soon as you have a trans person walking in the door, from the time they're transitioning to where they're in the transition, sometimes it's very obvious to be saying, wow, this person looks a little different. And a lot of businesses don't want us in the forefront representing their businesses. They don't care if you're in a warehouse or doing a construction job, but as far as like somewhere where people will see us, a lot of businesses don't want to hire. Even stores will not hire us because it's sad. It's very sad. We can get jobs in fast food because we're behind the counter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hidden thing. As long as I hide you, I can hire you.
Yeah, and that's just jacked up. But then again, these places, well, look at Starbucks. They under attack for racism. So I mean, it happens, and I can understand somewhat why it may, but it doesn't make it right. You know,
Right.
there's too many talented people out here, you know,
Right.
who have all these gifts and skills and education, but yet you won't hire me because of my outward appearance, or you know that, you know, I'm transitioning or have transitioned. You know, it's just jacked up to me. I say let people live. Let
Right.
they gotta live just like you have. You know, that should be a
Right.
from, you know.
It's getting better. Wendy, it's getting better over the years, but it's still a struggle. We still have the hard times going in front of us. But it's a lot better than 1962, 1970, 1980s, and the 1990s. When I moved to North Carolina, people weren't ready for me. They didn't even know what transition was. They weren't ready for me. So I had to evolve in this state slowly but surely.
Well, you know what? I don't know if they still ready for you, cause you packs a powerful punch.
Cornelia Thomas, I am identified pronoun male, he, sir, him, or they. I am a trans male. I am legally gendered male on documentation by way of transgender experience.
Transgender experience. Explain what that is.
That means I'm living my truth.
Hey, no more needs to be said there. That's the main thing. All right.
I'm living through the experience of being a trans man.
And living every minute of it, ain't you? Just being a hoe. I had to say it. Just had to say it. Just being a hoe.
That's what my mother said. That's just pure horrors. Just being a hoe. My God.
That's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Everybody got a little hoe in them at some point or another.
Everybody got a little bit in them, and if it's quiet, they're doing it with their mate, and we don't know. Hey, if you can do it good, like the song says, come on and do it till you're satisfied. That's what you got to do.
Get it, and get it some more.
That's it. That is it.
Well, Flex, darling, I have truly enjoyed this conversation tonight. I look forward to having you on the show again. Yes, he's going to be.
Yes.
Who will pop in periodically and hang out with us. And, you know, we have plenty of topics to discuss. Flex is well grounded, well rounded. Got me tongue tied now because I keep thinking about them folks. But I'm trying to tell you. But anywho, Flex will be popping in from time to time, y'all. So get used to him. But if you don't catch him on my page, please make sure y'all like, tag, share this video. He's gonna put the links in to where you can find him for more information on various subjects, topics, you know, foundation help, whatever. You know, he's out there doing what he can do, giving from the heart. And so I hope you all will be open-minded enough to help a brother out. Flex.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Miss Wendy. And let me give a shout out to somebody that was just on here, and I need to applaud her like I applaud you. And, you know, I'm going to put y'all together. I told you about the Blog Talk Radio. If it wasn't for Dee Dee Walker Blog Talk, who sponsors my show, I would not be here talking to you today.
Really?
Yeah.
So she been a mentor.
She has been a supporter, a number one ally, number one supporter who has allowed our show to be running for almost 2 years on Blog Talk and has allowed us to reach out to others, to educate, to interact, and to really get us to come together as a community. You know, we get maybe 15, 20 people at a time, and people listen and people want to hear. With our Blog Talk Radio on Tuesday nights, Hot Topic Tuesday, we talk about topics that no one dares to speak about like you're doing, Wendy, and we just don't care. We're going to talk about it because that's to empower, to encourage, to allow people to grow within their self and their community.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to bring awareness, and it doesn't matter, you know, whom, what their situation may be, you know, because we all go through. So, you know, and I like to deal with real people with real situations and real stories to tell, because you may be able to help somebody else who may be going through the same thing, but they're afraid to speak out on it, or they're afraid to, you know, tell somebody, period. Because some people just don't have support systems. They don't have friends and family members that they can really talk to. So I try to bring these conversations, you know, to the forefront, because there's too much stuff that's swept up under the rug. And I feel like it's that time. So I'm going to try to give people, you know, something else, an alternative. Sometimes, yeah, we can get a little ratchet. I want to give you that surprise element. So, we can twist like I tricked all the night. But because they wasn't expecting that one. And so, yeah,
No.
And I love it. I love it. I love it. So, y'all, I want to thank you again, Flex, for coming on and hanging out with me.
Thank you, Wendy.
Tonight. Again, y'all, like, tag, share. Make sure you put your information so they can find you. And
it's really easy. Let me tell them, it's really easy. And we have a joke in the family. If you Google Flex, Flex, Jonez, Jonez, you can find me all over the map. If my mama can find me, so can you.
Amen. And you definitely somebody that we need to keep up with. Generally speaking. You definitely somebody we need to try to keep up with for real. That is my aspiration, my goal right now. Whew, I got to make it to 2 hours. But we're going to work on that too, at least. I might go for an hour, but we're going to work up for that too. But y'all, I thank y'all for tuning in. I'm getting ready to sign off and out. Our sister got to go ahead and finish eating. And I want y'all to join me next Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a guest coming on. And again, we're going to talk about nudity. Yes, yes, yes. So hopefully we don't get blocked off Facebook for that one. We'll keep our fingers crossed and toes too. Flex, you have a wonderful night. And I thank you once again for showing up and showing out in your own fashion. Alyssa, yeah, I got to call you, girl, just a hot second. Anywho, yes, my producer, y'all. So if you don't know, if you get a contact from someone, Alyssa Jones, that's my producer. So don't be alarmed. But yeah, y'all send them stories in. Hit the inbox. Hit mine or hit hers, either or. And let's see if we can get your story online. Can bring it to the WRC Chronicles. With that being said, y'all, I just want to wish you a good night, a good weekend. And remember, if you're going to play hard, but play safe. Y'all have a wonderful night. Deuces.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Good night, darling.